if something happens to someone who was working for me, you don't want to just tell them go home. Yeah, you know there is that guilt, and this person possibly you've lived with him or her for, let's say, 10 years. That's like a family. If he becomes disabled inside your
line of work,
would you be comfortable telling him, now you have served me for that period, but I no longer need you?
Yes.
You may not do that.
Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well. My name is Martin, in case you're here for the first time. Na sisi ni watu wa insurance. We do civic education as well as reviews on insurance, especially within the Kenyan market. So kama uko hapo uko na swali ya insurance, this is your right channel, because we try as much as possible to inform you on anything insurance, just to help you understand this space before you buy insurance products. Because one of the reasons why most people are frustrated is not because products are bad, it's because of inadequate information. So when you are buying, you don't have actual information. So when it comes to maybe point of claiming, because of the gap of that information, you find maybe your expectation is not being met. So we are here just to inform you before you buy. So in today's conversation, we are responding to one of our viewers who was asking a question from a video that we did a while back. We were covering WIBA, that is work injury benefit. It's a cover which normally is bought by employers, which kind of covers employees when it comes to maybe injuries or illnesses that comes as from work related injuries. Yes. So alikuwa nauliza, what if maybe someone, maybe like an example, a contractor who doesn't have permanent employees, so for him ni ile hiring people based on work that is available. So it's not like the guys or the people that they work with are permanent and pensionable. So we want to look at the options, so that at least if you are there and you have such a case, you at least have an idea of what to do with your employees, that is the casual laborers. So without wasting much time, I want to invite my comrade so that we can have this conversation. Karibuni sana. And if you haven't subscribed, kindly support our content by way of subscribing. That is the simplest way of supporting this content. Share, like, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let's get into the video. So karibu sana Bwana Mwai.
Good. Thank you so much, and to our viewers, feel most appreciated for following what we do, giving us feedback, commenting in that comment section. We really feel overjoyed, and we want to kind of give information based on feedback we were given a while back.
Yes.
By one of our viewers,
yes.
Or so to speak,
yes.
A viewer who wanted to understand if you have an agency or a business that doesn't have permanent and pensionable staff.
Yes.
What can you take? Because what we know is that as long as you are an employer, you need a WIBA. However, some institutions or some businesses that cannot, WIBA may not really apply because it's of a high turnover. That is, you come for a week and then we find other guys. What should you have?
Before we now look at the options, maybe there's someone who is watching this video,
yes,
and they haven't had a chance to watch the previous video that we covered about WIBA. Maybe
a recap.
What is WIBA?
Okay, so basically what WIBA means is a Work Injury Benefit Authority. It is a mandatory insurance cover that every employer in Kenya, as long as you are operating inside the vicinity of the Kenyan border or within Kenya, you need to have a WIBA, just like you would have a third party cover if at all you drive. So it protects, number one, the employer from getting or from collapsing.
Yes.
Because I can tell you it's very, very expensive when something happens and you don't have a WIBA. The same thing that or the same cost that you would incur if you hit someone with your car and you didn't have an insurance. So it's the same principle, and it's usually very, very affordable. Very affordable, I can tell you. It's sometimes we even do a quotation. Employer natuliza, are you serious, you guys? Yeah, because of how affordable it is. So you don't have an excuse. We can do a quotation. You look at what other alternative you can have apart from WIBA. So for WIBA, it's a cover that protects the employer against three things, especially for his employees. Number one is death, when or while your guys are working for you. Number two is disability. And number three is terminal illness. But the WIBA may be extended to cover some medical expenses. Yeah, and also may be extended, but you'll have to add something small for last expense. Yeah, that is in the event one of your staff dies, we shall pay. Yeah. For the last expense before we disburse the entire chunk of money to the family.
And if I remember well, we said the WIBA, it's for anyone who has employed more than two people.
As long as you have more than two staffs, by the virtue of you becoming or working or operating inside this country, you need WIBA.
Kama una operate hoteli,
it could be a hotel, it could be a hospital, it could
let's say
be
any business.
Any business.
You
any
have
business, and you don't. It's not
a choice.
It's not a choice.
It's a mandatory.
At the same time, government is so strict when something happens. Unlike how they would take it, if you don't remit an SSF, they may be lenient. If you don't remit for your staff's NSSF, but if something happens to you or to your staff, unfortunately you had not taken a WIBA, that would really it can
cost you the whole business.
It can cost you a business. So that is why it is important we have this discussion. So we can delve into our main.
I think what we can do is we are going to leave a link of the previous video that we talked into details about WIBA.
Sure.
So make sure that you check that link in the description box so that you at least catch up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Now in today's conversation, we have someone who doesn't have a permanent
pensionable
and pensionable,
or you
ama yake ni
business.
contractual.
Good.
Ile unachukua 1 week, uko na tuseme ni contractor wa mjengo.
Tuseme ni contractor wa mjengo, tuseme ni kama hoteli. We know those specific industry
kind of
industry that don't really they have a high turnover of employees.
Yes.
Like a hotel, someone comes for 1 month, 2 months,
then
leaves for a better hotel.
Yes.
You have a construction agency, you are a contractor, you have your guys, you complete this project, you go to another, you need other guys. So what would you have? You have maybe a business that pays like what do I call it? Not consistent pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You even sometimes pay on weekly basis.
Good.
Yes.
So what can you give to such employees? You can give them something called GPA. Or
now I have a question.
Accident. Yes.
On behalf of our viewers, do they still need to be compliant?
You know what you want to protect. You want to do two things. One is your moral. What do I call it? Obligation. You want to fulfill that moral obligation. That if something happens to someone who was working for me, you don't want to just tell them go home. Yeah, you know there is that guilt, and this person possibly you've lived with him or have for, let's say, 10 years. That's like a family. If he becomes disabled inside your
line of work,
would you be comfortable telling him, now you have served me for that period, but I no longer need you?
Yes.
You may not do that. Number two, if someone possibly dies and he was sacrificing all he had for the sake of your business, you may not tell that family that
now because he's not able to work,
yeah,
I'm done with this guy.
Yes. So number one is that being a human, you are, you want to work in a moral way, yeah, so that something happening to one of your guys, you have no guilt. That is number one. Number two is that you want to do what we call retaining the best talent. Yeah. If a staff or a person who is working for you gets to know that even if something happened to me, my employer has taken care of my needs, I can tell you, you are likely, yes, you are likely to retain that person, and possibly he is a top talent. So number one is you are able to retain good talent, and because what we know is hiring and recruiting new talent is also expensive.
Yes.
So as a HR, yeah, you are also saving yourself a lot of struggle,
yes,
a lot of unnecessary cost.
Yes.
Yeah, because once that person, before someone adapts, you will possibly set aside some time. You will take him to trainings. You will do so much. Unlike that person who have been with you, he understands possibly everything.
Yes.
So that is another reason why you need to have something like a WIBA or a GPA. And number three is that particular individual who is working for you. Remember, he has a family. When he is no longer there, who takes care of them? And possibly he was the breadwinner. Yeah, the only person who can take care of them is who? The community, possibly. But what if an employer had a pack or a package where if you die and you have a family, we give you 5 million. So that family releases your guy or this particular breadwinner wholeheartedly, bila tashwishi. You get? Yeah. So those are some of the things that makes us get this particular covers, either personal accident cover, that is group personal accident cover, or GPA.
Now that's what I wanted to come to. Now we have mentioned about a GPA.
Yeah.
Now GPA is now the alternative for someone who doesn't have permanent and pensionable.
Sure. Yeah.
So what is GPA?
So group personal accident cover is basically an alternative to WIBA, although it's not mandatory. But you, as we have said, there are a lot of things that you need to do for your employees.
Morally,
yes. So GPA has all the benefits for WIBA, which we mentioned in our previous video. So it covers the following: covers accidental death, not necessarily when you're working, but even outside your workplace. So it covers 24 hours. It covers permanent total disability. It covers medical expenses, but you must understand that medical expenses is done on a reimbursement basis. It's not a medical cover. You must understand that. If you want to be paid for medical expenses at the point of hospitalization, you need a medical cover.
Do you also have maybe, although we'll cover in another video,
yes, a
group medical cover?
We also do group medical cover, which is still another important package you can give to your staff.
Yes,
but we shall
do another video.
Yeah, we shall do another video.
Yes.
So, but we have talked of three things. One is accidental death, whether it happens inside the job place or outside. Number 2, we have a permanent total disability. We also have the medical expenses. It covers what we call artificial appliances, that you need a wheelchair, you need crutches. So those are some of the things it also buys for you. Number 4 is it covers what we call a last expense.
That is in case of death.
In the event of death, before we process the main payout, we give you a good amount for the burial. So that even if your family doesn't have enough ability to take care of that event, we as the company will pay. And finally is something called you can also extend this benefit to include even a domestic package inside the same cover.
Domestic meaning family?
We are talking of fire and theft.
Fire and theft.
Fire and theft for your home.
Okay.
So you can extend it.
Okay.
But that is basically what the GPA covers, or the group personal accident covers. So it's important I say that the main person can choose how much his guys would be covered, from 500,000, 700,000, 1 million, 2 million, all the way up to 10 million, because we could find people who works on a weekly basis, but they are high value. You may not give them a cover of 500,000. You want to motivate them by giving them something reasonable, that in the event I'm no longer there, my family with possibly 10 million, it can take them through let's say 5 years. So you get to choose. We can always do quotation for you. If you have, let's say, 10 people, you have 20 people, and I can guarantee you the cover is very, very, very affordable. Can you imagine a cover limit of let's say 1 million? Do you know how much you would pay
per
year?
Per year, yes.
Because GPA, WIBA
is a general cover.
They are annual covers.
Yes.
You would pay around 3,000 annually. So even if something happens to that staff of yours, and you've covered him for, the much you've paid for him is just 3,000. The beauty is you may not disclose to them how much you have paid, but you can give them the value. If you happen to die at my workplace or at your house, this is the much you would get, courtesy of your employer.
Yes. So I would say, because we have talked about personal accident cover before, so the only difference between personal accident and GPA is only that the GPA is now for the group, which has a reasonable price as compared to the personal accident.
Yes.
Because now you're coming as
a group.
All right. So I think that is it.
That's it. It's pretty straight. Straightforward plan.
Yes.
If you want us to number one, do a quotation so that you can see a sample, a cover for your group, you can reach us out and we can be able to negotiate. We can even look at different companies, because from where we sit, we can tell you this company is offering this and this company is offering this above what you are getting in company X, you get. So we are here to support you, to educate you. If you want anything to do with how you can claim, you leave that job to us. It is us who will guide you the entire process from point A to point Z, so that when you are getting a service from us, it will be, I don't want to overpromise, but what I can guarantee you is we try where we can to give you the best service. If it is motor, if it is medical cover, we do all that.
And it's good to inform our people and to remind them that we always check for these questions
Good.
in the comment section. So keep sending those questions. We'll pick them up from there and do a detailed video such as this one, just to help you get informed. This is very important.
This is quite important.
Yes.
And we are not asking for much. You don't need to pay anything.
Yes.
You just click that button.
Subscribe button.
You subscribe.
Yes.
So that when we are sharing a new piece of information,
yes,
you can always be the first one to possibly see.
Yes.
And learn.
Yes.
So that when you are making up a decision for yourself,
so I hope we gave you value for your time, and we were able to answer the person who sent us that question. Make sure that you share this information, share this link, leave a comment, like this video. By liking, you help the channel to be recommended to more viewers. So that's the best way you can support this channel.
Absolutely.
And we are looking forward to those questions, so keep sending them, and we hope to see you in the next video. And until then, is a God bless you, and
bye bye.
Bye bye.